This is Father Vogel. We continue our series on St. Jean-Baptiste de La Salle's Meditations in Time of Retreat for teachers and those who instruct the youth, including catechists as well as parents. We're in the 12th meditation on the way in which we must reprove and correct the faults of those whom we are guiding. So we're in the third point of this meditation. The result which the wise reproof of Nathan produced in David ought to make you realize how much good the corrections you give your disciples will profit them when they are given with gentleness and charity. David became angry at the man Nathan described in his parable, and when he realized he was the one for whom the parable was told, he had no other response but the words, "I have sinned." At once he took upon himself a severe penance. When the child born of his adultery died, David adored God and made it clear that he accepted his holy will. That is how the wise and restrained manner of the prophet toward the sinful David softened the king's heart. He acknowledged his two sins, asked God for God's pardon for them, and was truly sorry. So Father La Salle continues that story of King David that we had earlier in the meditation, noting that because Nathan has addressed David with a gentleness as well as from love of him, God's charity, that had an impact upon David and has really moved him to repent. So he acknowledges his sins. So that is our desire too for our correction. The result of a wise correction is that those receiving it are disposed to correct their faults, whereas when correction is administered through passion and without God in view, it serves only to turn the disciple against his teacher and to arouse in him feelings of revenge and ill will, which sometimes last a long time, because results are generally related and similar to the cause that produces them. So he's reflecting how, if we're acting out of God's will, more likely is the response going to be good. Now, of course, we aren't going to be able to control how somebody responds, how a student responds to our guidance. It doesn't mean they might get upset. They won't get upset immediately. But he says that if we are correcting out of our own passions, out of our own anger, being upset with them, that likely that's going to bring no good. They are also going to remain angry, even seek ill will or revenge. So we want to make sure that we're correcting out of charity towards another. If then you want your corrections to have the results they ought to have, administer them in a way that can please God and those who receive them. Take care above all that it be charity and zeal for the salvation of souls of your pupils that lead you to correct them. Show them so much kindness when you give corrections that though you may cause them pain, they not only will not be angry at you, but will show you gratitude for the good you have done for them, a great regret for their faults, and a firm intention not to commit them again. Yes, that would be our desire, is to correct in such a way that it actually brings about their conversion, that they actually want to do good. And this is why to admonish the sinner is actually one of the spiritual works of mercy. From this very moment, put yourself in the disposition to use the means needed to carry out this resolution. God bless.